Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in this video, I'm gonna share with you how to create a gorgeous statement on your front door this Christmas with a beautiful Christmas wreath DIY. I'm gonna give you step by step on how you can create a gorgeous beautiful Christmas wreath that I really think you're going to like and learn some from it. I know so many of you do Christmas wreaths to sell, and I just want to teach you all of the techniques that you need to know to create beautiful Christmas wreaths. If you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss all of the Christmas magic this year. Remember, this year we're going all in and it's going to be big. And also I want to take a second real quick just to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all of the things that you need to know about this holiday season. My Etsy shop also is going to be linked in the description box below, along with all of my social medias. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. All right, you guys, so we're going to create a gorgeous snowman theme wreath step by step. This is going to be done in reds and whites and silver, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I really think you're going to learn a lot on this particular wreath. So some of the things that we're going to use is going to be, of course, a wreath form, and right now it's flat because we're going to have to fluff it. We're going to use this plaque that we're going to put on the center. We're going to decorate around it. I have a selection of big ornaments and smaller ornaments that we're going to cluster within a wreath. We're going to use some decor material to make our wreath girthier, so I'm going to explain that as we go. I'm going to also use some of these beautiful poinsettias in red and white. I'm going to use some gorgeous berries also that are frosted in red and white. I cannot wait for you guys to see this. I'm going to use my favorite pig, and I have some news, you guys. This is going to be on my shop next year. We went ahead and ordered some of this, and next year, because it is my favorite fern pig, we're going to have it on the shop, so you will be able to get it next year for Christmas. And then also we're going to use some clusters right here with ornaments and peppermint candies, as well as our beautiful ribbons. I thought that for this one we use a black scripted to go with the hat on the snowman, and then also I have a variety of silver ribbons, so we make it shimmer and sparkle. And our accent ribbon is going to be this beautiful red with a white stripe, and as you guys can see, all of this is creating a story that I cannot wait to tell you with this beautiful wreath. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends because that really helps the channel. If you want to learn more about wreath making, keep watching, and don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's coming up next in the channel. All right, let me clear up all of this, bring my pick machine out, get my hot glue ready and hot, and I'll be right back to give you step number one. Keep watching. All right, so when creating a beautiful Christmas wreath step by step, you have to kind of follow some guidelines, and mine is always to fluff my wreath. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the box, and you guys, this is not a good look. So basically what you have to do is I start on the back and I pull all of those bristles back. Now here's the secret, you have to do it all in one motion. So you just have to pull those bristles as you continue to rotate this wreath form like this. Once you get all of the back ones ready, then we're gonna move to the front ones, but the front ones I like to do the opposite way, and that way is what's gonna give it the fullness to the wreath. So because this is a tedious process and it's kind of boring actually, to be honest, I'm gonna do this off camera and I'll be right back with you to share with you step number two. Keep watching. All right, so now that our wreath is fully fluffed, I'm going to go ahead and do step number two, which is going to be to add our mesh material. And for that, I'm gonna go a little bit this way. I have did I just say selection? I have selected a red mesh material, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here in the bottom. And what I like to do when I start is I pinch right here and I put my mesh facing inward, so that way when I start weaving my mesh, you don't see that unfinished edge. So basically what you do is you do about, I wanna say about 3 to 6 inch loops. They need to be really tight because I don't want it to be too fluffy because we're going to add a whole bunch of picks. So basically you wanna give it some body like this. You want to come here and pinch, swirl those bristles and make sure the one goes forward, and I'll tell you why later. So once again, we're gonna do some loops like this. You guys, if you are doing mesh wreaths to sell, or if you're making them to give away to your family or friends, I really do recommend to follow these steps because that's going to guarantee that this mesh loops are going to stay in place forever. So what you have to do is put your mesh in and then grab those two bristles and give them two spins, not just one, because if you do just one, sometimes with the time they just get loose as you move them, and well, you don't want your customers or your family and friends to just have a loose loop. It's not cute, let me tell you. It's happened to me before. I'm telling you this by trial and error. So it is just better if you do two loops like this, or I'm sorry, two swirls of the ribbon and two swirls of the bristle. All right, so I'm gonna continue doing this, and I just wanna take a second to thank all of you guys who have purchased my wreaths on my shop. I'm so excited. One went to Vegas, one went to Illinois. Those are the ones that I remember. And I'm just so thankful because it is my dream for everybody out there to have a Ramon at home wreath. And if you don't wanna make it, I really recommend to visit my shop. I'm gonna put a link down below. There is so many wreaths available right now. There's one with the elf, one with the penguin, and I'm actually gonna put a video at the end of this video so you guys can see all of the wreaths that we've made to give you some ideas on how you can make them, or if you want to get one special made by yours truly, well, you can do that now. That is the number one request I got from you guys. Ramon, do you sell the things that you make? And the answer was no. Well, now you can get a Ramon at home custom made wreath for your front door. And I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who has purchased one. It really makes me happy to know that my wreaths have gone all over the US. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue adding this all the way on the outer edge, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how it looks like with all of the mesh put together, or weaved in, as I like to say. I weaved in two rolls of mesh right here, and you can find that mesh at Hobby Lobby or any other craft store. It really doesn't matter what kind of mesh, because guess what, we're gonna cover most of it with some of these beautiful ribbons. And I selected a beautiful silver one that I'm going to use to weave in one time around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut. First of all, I want to mention that I always like to have my tools at the ready because they help me, well, be faster. So if you are making this, I used to have a boss who used to say, you are only as good as you are fast. And he taught me that you have to have all of your tools at the ready if you want to be fast. We used to make like hundreds of wreaths a season. And so one of the secrets was to be fast, and to be fast, you have to have all of your tools at the ready. So if I can just, if what happens on the left happens on the right, and what goes must come down, can you add to that, have your tools at the ready? You'll always be super fast, and you'll be able to, well, create beautiful wreaths and trees and arrangements. So basically what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna do this beautiful ribbon, and I'm going to do loops of it all throughout, because our theme is like a peppermint candy. So instead of adding white, because I feel like white would be too stark, I'm going to add some of this silver, and I'm gonna just go one time around, all the way around the wreath. And I'm having so much fun, you guys, sharing with you all of these ideas. My favorite, I have to say it right now, my favorite one so far has been the Grinch Christmas tree. If you have not seen the Grinch Christmas tree, which was like our last video, you have got to go check it out. It was so much fun. If you have kids or grandkids, which I've always said that Christmas is for the kids. You know, I used to love Christmas when I was a kid. Now as an adult, why I love it, because it's what I do for a living. But I remember being a child and just waiting for Christmas. And I remember I loved the lights, and I loved everything about Christmas. And I don't know if you know, but the reason why I like Christmas so much, I don't know if I've told you this story before. I love telling it, but the reason why I love Christmas so much is because when I was a child, well, we grew up in Tijuana, and we were very poor. You know, we didn't go without, but we definitely were not wealthy by any means. And I remember we never had a Christmas tree in our mom's house. And one year, my mom, I don't know what got onto her, but she bought a tiny 4-foot Christmas tree with multi-colored lights. And I just remember it was the most beautiful Christmas tree. She put on one of those chest of drawers, and it just looked so tall and so majestic, and with the twinkling lights. And I just remember I loved it. Well, my parents had 4 kids, right? And so it was kind of tough for them. Because, well, we were fairly poor, like I said, and one time my mother was not having it. Now as an adult, I recognize the sacrifice that my parents did to raise 4 of us, but I remember she was not having it. She was having a bad day, so she yanked that Christmas tree from the chest of drawers, ripped it from the wall and it marched herself out to the trash bin and put it upside down, and I followed her the whole time. And I never forgot that. I tell her that story now, she laughs about it. She doesn't remember, but I never forgot it because it was kind of traumatizing. And so ever since I was like, you know what? When I grow up, I'm gonna have a beautiful Christmas tree. And cut to me, this many years later, now this is what I do for a living, so I love it. All right, so now this is what that ribbon looks like. So we just did loops. That's our step number 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring out my ribbons, which is going to be our statement ribbons, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so our next step is going to be to add our ribbons, and I want this plug to be right here on the middle. So I wanna do 1 or 2 loops right here, and then I wanna do another loop right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do it on the base, and it is easier, you guys, if you just do it flat because you can really control, and I have this Lazy Susan that really allows me to control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail this beautiful scripted ribbon that I'm absolutely in love with it. So basically just do a dovetail right here, and I'm gonna give it a big tail, and I'm gonna go all the way to the top, and then I'm going to serve like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bigger loop because this is our statement ribbon. So you really want your, if you're gonna hang it on your door, well, you wanna see the beautiful statement ribbon. And if you're going to make it to give away or to sell, then you really want that to be the one to show. So for that, you have to make your loops bigger and floppier. Just pinch like this, and then you go ahead and add it right here. Now, if this is not your theme, like I said, I have a plethora of videos on how to make beautiful statements on your front door with wreaths and swags. And last week we did one that was a very rustic one. And let me just tell you, it was so beautiful. It had all these poinsettias, they were plaid, this buffalo plaid. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. That is the one that went to Vegas. And I'm super excited for her to get it because I cannot wait to read her comment on Etsy. And this one is also going to be available at the end of this video. So like you can see, I did 1 loop right here. So now I'm gonna switch to the other side and I'm gonna do the same. So basically I say basically a lot. Have you guys noticed that I say basically a lot? My catchphrase used to be like so, but I finally got over that one. And so now I said basically this, basically that, and I have got to get rid of that. Or make a t-shirt with it, one of the two. All right, so I'm going to put this Jingle Bell beautiful scripted ribbon, and like I told you, reminder, make sure that you do those loops really floppy so they really show, and just continue to spin. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so beautiful, I cannot wait. If it turns out the way that I imagined it, I'm gonna continue weaving this down, I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I'm done adding my statement ribbon, and as you guys can see, the waves are really floppy, and I'm in love with it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add the bows, and I always like to add some bows to my wreaths to make it more festive. So what I like to do is I'm going to use this beautiful white and red striped ribbon, as well as some of these really pretty glittery ribbon. And what I want you to do is just give a tail like this, and you know what, I'm gonna start with the other one because I'm telling you all to start with the one that is narrower. So I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna give it a tail a little bigger, probably about 4 inches. And then I'm gonna do a cute little bow and just a 2-loop bow. And that's what's gonna be our base for a ribbon. And don't forget, as always, I'm telling you to spin this so all of your glitter is showing right here. And then when you have that, what you're going to do is you're gonna add another ribbon on the bottom like this, and then you're going to do a loop and probably about the same as the other one. So that way it's very cohesive. And don't forget to spin that around and then go down like this. And then we're going to cut right here. I'm gonna grab a wire and I'm gonna put this together very tightly. Once you have it tight like this, what you can do is fluff your bow. Make sure that you spin all of these tails around so you can really see all of that beautiful glitter like this. So you have this 4-loop bow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with a wire, I'm gonna grab a bristle and I'm gonna go as far down as I can on the bristle like this. And then I'm going to spin around once, spin around twice, and then we're going to fluff. And never forget to dovetail all of these guys right here. And look how beautiful, I don't know if you can tell How beautiful all of that glitter just sparkles. So I'm gonna cut all of my tails. I want them to be a little bit short. I don't want it to be taller than this because I don't like that look when the tails are just flapping way too far from the form. I just don't like that. I don't know why. I was never a fan of that. So basically like that, and look how beautiful that just added that stripe and that beautiful glitter on it. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna do another one. Once again, start with the one that is narrower. This is about 1.5 inches, and it really does help if you dovetail before you start. And so you do a little tail like this, and then you go down, pinch, twist. If you don't know how to make bows, I'm gonna link down below a video that I have that I show you step by step how to make a bow. I'm gonna cut right here, and then you grab the other one and you put it under it, and once again you just pinch like this and you make a little loop. Pinch, 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 fluff, and this is the trick, to spin like this, and then you once again make a bow like this. We're gonna cut right here, and look how this. All right, so let's recap real quick. The very first thing I did is I added, well, no, actually I fluffed my wreath. Then I added the mesh. After I added the mesh, I added this beautiful silk stripe ribbon. I added my signature ribbon, which is this scripted, and I just did some loops going down this way and some going up the other way. After that, I started adding my bows, and so I have my last one right here. Before I add it, I wanna let you know, I always like to save some of the same ribbons, because at the end, if there's any holes, you can make a bow and fill it with that. So we're gonna save that for the end. But I have the last bow, and I feel like it needs to be somewhere over here. Actually, I'm gonna move it towards me so that I can see, because sometimes I cannot see what I'm doing, and it just ends up being so cattywampus. So you have to stay a step away from your wreath when you're making it, just to make sure that it's very well balanced. I always preach balance, so this is the best way to do it. And to me, it's looking absolutely fantastic. Now, thumbs up for Jamison, who's in the back of the camera today helping. How does that look? Does that look good? Okay, can you see it very good? All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm gonna bring my hot glue gun that I have put over here. I'm gonna actually go all the way around. I'm gonna bring it over on this side, because it's time to glue our plaque. And that's probably my favorite part about making a wreath. To do that, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you push some of these bristles down like this. Some of the ones that stay on the bottom, you need to bring them forward like this, because that's what we're going to use to glue our plaque. So this is my top. I decided what's gonna be my top. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put my plaque right here, lifting my bows. I don't wanna get any of my bows. I'm gonna put it like that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun. Now keep in mind that the glue that I have is Gorilla Hot Glue, and that's the only one that I like to use because it really hangs on to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on my plaque on the bigger places where I see it's going to latch on, right? So plenty of it, don't be shy. And then when you have your glue, be sure not to burn yourself, first of all. You're going to come up here, and then you're going to place it like this, and just push down. And that's gonna make sure that some of those bristles on the bottom are going to latch onto it, and it's gonna stay like that. I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes, and I'll be back because I have to let it sit. But if you have not seen the wreath with the poinsettias, I'm gonna link it down below for you guys to tune in later on when we're done with this one. Let it sit, and I'll be right back. All right, so here's a quick tip you need to know. If you have some leftover ribbon with the project that you're working with, don't pitch it. Be sure to cut 2 strips to cover your wreath hanger, and that's going to give you a finished look when you hang your wreath on the door. All you have to do is put some glue around the edge on both sides, put 2 pieces together, and I'll show you real quick. You can just weave this through and you cover your wreath hanger. So that way when you hang your wreath on the door, the look is going to be finished all the way up. Let's get back to the video. All right, so about 15 minutes have passed. That's how long I let it sit, and now it's pretty well stuck. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these larger ornaments. I love this one because it has the stripes and it goes well with the rest of the theme. And what I did is I added a wire, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna find the spot where I want some ornaments. Because I have 3, I kinda wanna do a triangle. Remember to always do a triangle, whether it's like this or whether it's like this. But for this particular one, I think I'm going to do, this is going to be like this. So I'm going to add one right here. Now I do want to go through all the way to the back. Let me see. And don't be afraid about flattening your bows because you can always fluff them at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way to the back so that I can pull real tight. And then grabbing one of my bristles from the back, I'm going to swirl those two together. Let me find one. And this is where you can actually take it off the stand if you must. But because I am showing you how to do it, I have to find a way to just swirl those two together. There you go. And so now that ornament is going to stay there, but guess what? To double secure it, I got it. To double secure it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue to it because I want it to stay there forever. All right, so I'm gonna actually put this guy right here. And so I'm gonna add a second one. I have my wire already, so I'm gonna leave that one right there. Remember, this is gonna be my point of the triangle, so now I'm gonna go over to this side. And actually, I'm gonna move it towards me one more time just so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to add this guy right here. And remember to just pull your hand through if you must, and then just grab that wire and pull really tight. And that's what's so important, to have that wire in it, because look, you can just grab a bristle like this, twirl that bristle with a wire until you can no longer see the wire, and it just now becomes the bristle. And so now I'm gonna add the other one right here on the bottom. So it's gonna look more intentional, and we're gonna be adding some other small ones, but for right now, these will have to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go through here until I find that wire, which is right here. And then you pull really tight like this. And look how cute that is. And then you grab one of your bristles, you go up. Actually, not that one. All right, let me secure this real quick and I'll be right back. All right, so now I've secured them, and remember to add some glue to the top of your ornament so that way it goes down and it is going to keep it in place. So I'm gonna add some right here, and this one I'm going to add some right here, and just let it go down, push that mesh in there, and it's going to secure very well, and it's not going to go anywhere, I promise you. All right, so my next step is going to be to add my picks and stems, and for that, I have chosen some of these really beautiful red foliages with glitter and some of these white snow ones. So I'm gonna start with the red ones, and for that, I'm going to move my glue gun over here. You guys, working with this glue gun, it's kind of a hassle. You have to move it everywhere, but you know, you always just find a way to do it. All right, so what I'm going to do is they come like this, so I'm gonna cut them shorter. I'm gonna make 2 out of 1, and if you have a pick machine like this one, then it becomes really easy to just work with it. And remember to always add a whole bunch of glue to your stem, and I'm gonna start up here on the top. So I'm gonna add like that. And what I like about putting the mesh is because that stem really latches on to your mesh, and it's going to stay there forever if you put enough glue to it. I am having so much fun. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these videos. I really hope that they're helping you create something beautiful for your Christmas this year, because I am having a blast. This year, like I told you earlier in the year, we were gonna go big, and I just hope that you are enjoying as much as I am, and teaching you some tricks and tips on floral design and all of the things that I learned while working in the industry, so that you too can create something beautiful this holiday season. And you know, when I had that people come for the meet and greet, I should know that the best compliment you could pay me was that you learned, whether it was what happens on the left happens on the right, or whether it was anything that you learned from the channel. It was such a compliment, because my only intention with this channel is to really just pass on all of that knowledge that I have gathered throughout the years working in the industry, so that you too can either make them to sell or just create them for your family when they come over. And that's my only intention for this channel. So I really hope that they're at least teaching you a little bit something, so then you too can create something beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna add this one right here, making sure that it latches on like that. I feel like I need one over here. And I'm gonna add another one. Putting this steel pick is so important. That's one, if I'm telling you, if you have to invest on your tools, your steel pick would be one of them that I recommend. And then the other one is a good hot glue gun, because if you have a good hot glue gun, your wreaths are always going to be perfectly glued. You don't have to worry about it. And your pick machine, well, like I said, this steel pick really helps to cut through all of the mesh and all of the things that has to cut through in order to latch on to everything. All right, so let's see, where do I need another one? I'm gonna put one more up here and then one more on the bottom, because remember, what goes up must come down. So I'm gonna add this one right here. And so it doesn't look balanced, right? But that's just because that's one pick. So now what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna add my favorite stem, and it's this one, and look at this. What I like about it is because it just comes out so easy. So you can either use the whole stem like that on a Christmas tree, or you can just pull it apart like this to use as your flyaways. And if you know me, and if you've been following the channel, you know that I do not do a Christmas tree, an arrangement, or anything else without the flyaways, because it's what gives your wreath that fly, that like movement when you put on your door and it catches the wind. It's just so beautiful. So this is one of my favorite items in the world, and next year you'll be able to get it here on my Etsy shop. Listen to my Etsy shop. And if you're watching this next year, which will be 2023, guess what? You can get them now on my shop. So head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is going to be down below, and you'll be able to use these beautiful flyaways on your wreaths. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here, and then I'm gonna go one up, one down, and I'm gonna go all the way around. And look what that does. That is the three-dimensional feel that I like on my wreaths, because it really gives it that movement and gives it a three-dimensional feel. It just makes it look so much more beautiful. Right, so I'm gonna add another one, and all you have to do is weave them in, one out, one in, one out. Now I have to do one in. I think I'm gonna do it right here, like that, see? And now I'm gonna do one out. And we're gonna continue like that all throughout the wreath. So I'm gonna continue doing that, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I'm done adding all of these beautiful flocked picks, and I just think they look spectacular on this particular wreath. I feel like I need one up here, but we'll adjust in a second. So now the next thing I'm going to add is going to be some of these gorgeous poinsettias. Look at this. They look like Santa's coat, and it has this fluffy pollen on the inside. They are just absolutely beautiful. For that, I'm going to cut a little bit. So I'm gonna cut probably about this much, and I'm going to add a pick, because remember, that pick is going to help us cut through all of the mesh. And then after that, I'm going to add a little glue, not a little, a lot of glue, to my stem. Put it upside down so it runs forward. And because I have a triangle like this, now I'm going to start adding the flowers where the ornaments are not, so that way I can create another triangle. And look at that. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. I love it. It really starting to look like Christmas, and I am in love with this wreath. All right, let's add another one. Let's see. Add some glue. I really hope you are enjoying as much as I am. I'm having so much fun. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna add one right here, right in the middle, right here. Like that, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm gonna add one more right here, and I have it already fluffed. Just give it a curvature, cut, and then add a steel pick. If you don't have a steel pick machine, no problem. The only thing is that when you do not have that, they have like these teeth. It kind of sometimes like the stem is bent and it's so hard. So that's why I'm telling you, if you make this for sale, go ahead and invest in this pick machine. You'll thank me later. All right, so I'm going to add another one right here. I'm gonna push all of my bows. I don't wanna get all of my beautiful ribbon. I'm gonna add this guy right here. Just going down like that and fluff a little bit. Look at that. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. So then we'll fluff our ribbon. And now the last thing I wanna add is some of these cute little bundles. They have the peppermint. Once again, we're gonna cut a little bit. This one actually has some teeth in them, but I'm still going to put the pick on it. I'm gonna go ahead and add this glue, lots of it. And I'm gonna find a spot, like let's say right here. And I'm going to add like that. And look at that, that little bundle just adds a lot of Christmas spirit on it. Oh my gosh, I love the way this is looking. I have a few more. Let's see, where do we wanna put them? Just let your art dictate. I said it like I'm from the South. Ow, 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 that burnt. All right, so we're going to put it right here. You know, when you're buying one of these wreaths, you get all of these burns, you guys. I'm gonna put that one right there. And then I'm going to cut right here once again, right around where the teeth are. And I'm going to add more glue to it. And I'm going to put this one, let's see, maybe over here somewhere, right here. Okay, so we are almost done. I added all of my poinsettias and the clusters of little ornaments. You guys, this is turning out so beautiful, but I thought it needed some of these berries that has beautiful snow on it. And so I'm going to add just a few stems of it to make it look even more holiday. Look at that, that red berry with a white flock on it already makes it look more festive and more Christmassy. So just a few, we're not gonna add a lot, but I do want those berries to show, so I'm going to make sure that I am strategic about where I place them all throughout the wreath, and just make sure you go all the way around the wreath and you have them so that way, well, they're seen from everywhere. I'm gonna add one right here with this poinsettia. So I'm going to add right about here. Sometimes you have to go behind it and move it and groove it. There you go, like that. Let's see, no, actually I don't like that one. So sometimes you just have to pull out and pull back in and make sure that you are putting it where you want it to be, like that. Now we're talking. You don't want to miss that money maker right here. And I think I'm gonna add the last one right here. I'm gonna fluff this, put it on the door and show you what it looks like. Keep watching. Okay, so this particular look right here, it's one of my favorite ones for the holiday season. I love these beautiful poinsettias. They're made out of felt and it has like a chenille white cord around it. It makes it look like a Santa hat. The little plaque says, "Let us know," and it is perfect, you guys. It is packed with these beautiful ribbons in glitter, silver, red, and white, and then this beautiful scripted one that says Jingle Bells. It's got so many berries and pigs and ferns that are glitter, and it just glistens with the light. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the way this wreath turned out, and it really makes a statement on your front door this Christmas season. I love the way the poinsettias and the black scripted ribbon play along with the red and the white. It is so festive, and I hope that you liked it as well. Remember, if you want to make a gorgeous statement on your front door this holiday season, all you have to do is follow the easy steps on how to recreate this beautiful Christmas wreath. But if you're looking one for your door, remember this is going to be posted on my shop, and the link is going to be in the description box below. I had so much fun, but I cannot wait to read your comments. So let me comment down below and let me know what was your favorite part about this particular wreath. And if this is something you want to recreate, remember, if this is not your colors or your theme, just change it for your color scheme and you too can create a gorgeous statement on your front door this Christmas season. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.